Hello, my juicy jelly beans. So today I wanted to show you how to use a mold in a different way that you would normally do. You know me and molds. I don't have many and I prefer to squeeze the juice out of them and try different ways. And today I'm going to use these 3-sphere molds. So we're going to start off with the bigger one of the 3. First off, we need to clean up the mold and make sure there aren't any specks of dust, or in my case, doggy hairs. We're going to need some UV resin. I'm going to be using my J Addiction low viscosity one. Have a UV lamp close by too. Begin to pour your UV resin on the outside top part. Yes, you heard me right. We are working with the outside of the mold. I know I'm a bit of a weirdo, but weird is good, right? Keep adding UV resin and help it trickle over the sides. We want strands. Therefore, don't cover the whole sphere in UV. Just guide it. You do have to work a little on the far side as we don't want it to completely run down the mold and end up with no UV resin on our sphere. Once you're happy with your dribbles, grab your UV lamp and begin to cure all around your sphere. Make sure you cure right around, under and over for a complete cure. Now that it has cured, we are going to repeat the same process and go over the same dribbles to reinforce them. Once done, cure again completely. Sorry, my clumsy hands are right in your face. So this is what it looks like. Now we need to take out the mold. Poke it with the end of a brush to dislodge it from the sides, and especially the bottom part. Grab some snippers or scissors and snap the top part to give us leverage to take out the mold. Make sure you push your mold out of the way. We don't want to cut our mold by accident. Once you've snipped a couple of areas of the top, begin to pull out your mold softly, sweetly, and ever so lovingly to avoid breaking anything off. Okay, so we now have our base. Grab your snippers or scissors and snap off the top part to leave the drips free. Do it right above, or in this case, right under the border of the unwanted resin. Now we have our base. Put it to one side for now and grab your middle-sized mold. For this one, I'm going to add some colour. I chose a random pigment. It has pinks and greens in it, but you can choose any colour you prefer. We're going to need a disposable cup and more UV resin. Add some UV resin into your disposable cup and a bit of pigment of your choosing. Get your mold ready and have your UV lamp close by. Begin to pour your UV resin over the outside of the mold like we did before, creating dribbles down the side. Once done, cure it all over completely with your UV lamp. For this pour, one is sufficient. There is no need to do an extra layer. Repeat the same process of poking your mold to release it from the sides of the UV resin and snip off the top area to give you leverage to be able to pull it out. Once done, cut the unwanted layer and put it to one side. Now for the last mold, the smallest of the 3. Grab the pot you used for the middle mold. No need to clean it. Add some UV resin to the pot. I've run out of my low viscosity, so I'm going to use my J Addiction high viscosity, which to be honest is probably better as it gives us more movement control. The thicker, the slower it will be to trickle down, giving us more time to direct the dribbles down the mold. So I picked out another random pigment from my box stash. It looks like a darker pinky green. My aim is to go darker with this one. It just flew onto the mold instead of the cup. Definitely darker, so let's add a bit of the first pigment too. And I think the colour is a bit yucky. Oopsie. Oh well. Anyhow, Let's clean off the pigment from the mold. Wow, wait, it looks holographic. I was not expecting that, and I'm digging the colour. So I've decided to use it. I grabbed a fluffy soft brush and the same pigment, brushed it all over the outside of the mold. I'm actually quite loving this pigment. Not seen it before. We'll try to link it in the description box if I can remember which one it was. I definitely want some of this. I'll also link any discount codes too. It's amazing what one can find at the bottom of their stash box. Next up, grab your UV resin which already has the pigment we added before and begin to pour on top of the mold, creating dribbles. Then cure under your UV lamp. This is done and we need to do the same as before. Poke the mold, snip the top part to give you space to pull out the mold, and then finish off by snipping off the unwanted top area. Now we need to smooth off the tips as they are sharp. This part is a bit fidgety, but once you get the hang of it, you'll do it in no time. Grab your UV resin and a small UV torch. Dab a small drop of UV onto the tip of the dribble, rotating at the same time as you're curing it, so that it creates a little rounded tip. Continue to do the same to all the tips. Once you've completed it, make sure you cure it properly under a UV lamp for about a minute. Then do the same to the other two we created earlier. I've already done all three. Next up, grab the biggest one and a pigment of your choice. I've gone for this one, which comes in a liquid format. Begin to colour in the tips where we added the drop of UV resin. I'm really loving these liquid pigments. They have so many colours. This one is pinky green. Once you've added the pigment, we need to add another drop of UV resin. This will make the pigment stay put and it will give it a magnified look. Remember to use a UV torch to cure it for 10 seconds so that it doesn't move. Then once you've completed the whole piece, cure it under your UV lamp. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry. Okay, I've only done the pigment droplet to the big one. The other two, I left them as they were. Big thank you to all my subscribers. I'm so thankful to all of you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to always get the latest updates. Last up, we're going to join them. So grab the middle-sized one and add some UV resin to the base inside. You could, if you prefer, use glue instead. Grab the smaller one and place it inside. Push it down firmly, making sure it's centered. Cure it under and over with your UV lamp. Now we need to grab the largest one and add some UV resin to the base inside. Place the other two we joined before into the larger one. Make sure you're happy with the placement and then cure. Actually, this is the final part, I promise. I'm going to use a lead tealight and this stunning metallic magenta acrylic paint. With a brush, cover the whole tealight with the colour of your choosing. Remember that you should never use a real candle or any type of flame with resin or UV resin. Danger, danger. I'm going to use a heat gun to dry the paint because I'm too impatient to wait. This has dried and we can now place it inside. And voila, we have created an original tea light lamp perfect for a dinner setting or an evening outside in the garden with a margarita. Keep watching for the end results. Toodles!